Welcome to TheStreet.com TV. I'm Greg Greenberg from TheStreet.com, and I'm joined today by RealMoney columnist Dan Dicker. He writes about commodities and oil, all that fun stuff. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me.
All right, today we're going to talk about what it takes to be a commodities trader. A lot of people think you just get a system and you do it, but it's harder than that, right?
Yeah, it is harder than that. And what I've seen is I see a lot of these seminar offerings on late night TV mostly for Forex systems. They're commodity but currency trading systems. They're day trading systems where you go to a seminar at the local Marriott, pay maybe $500 for the seminar, another $500 for the software. You go home, you run it on your Pentium, and in your spare time, you see these guys, and they have all these, like I've made 36,000 in 7 minutes kind of guys, and it's
unverified, really unaudited. And meanwhile, you're at $1,000 for the seminar and the software. But what are they really selling? I mean, when you really dig into those products, I mean, what are they selling?
Normally they're simple kind of technical indicators that they will combine. They'll combine 2 or 3 technical indicators to make sort of a mechanical kind of trade system out of it. And really you have only 3 things that you have to input into the machine. You have to input a time factor that you want, so you can tell the machine how fast you want to make the money, supposedly. And then you can input, the kind of risk factors you want to put in, so how much you want to try and risk at every trade. And then basically it'll go red light, green light. Red light will be sell and green light will be buy. It's a mechanical system.
Right, but every trader has a system, and those everyone wants to stick to their system because it seems like you get into the most trouble when you veer off your system. So what's wrong with having a system?
Well, there's nothing wrong with having a system, but the system that these software packages are touting are generally systems that are reserved for black boxes. I mean,
what's a black box?
Well, a black box is very much a computerized system, but what it does is it doesn't take into account 2 or 3 technical factors like most of these software products will take into account. It'll take into account hundreds of technical factors in milliseconds, and it will take in marketplaces, not just what you're looking on one particular currency marketplace, but it'll take in currency marketplaces all around the world simultaneously at a speed that you can't possibly manage to compete against.
Okay, so are you saying is it that the odds are that buying one of these systems is not going to net people money, not going to make them profitable traders, or just not to live up to the advanced hype?
Yeah, well, what I hate to see is I hate to see my industry, that is, commodities, turn into, like a Carlton Sheets kind of no money down real estate kind of gig where everybody's trying to game markets based on these simple mechanic systems which really don't work as well for individuals.
So what do you advise instead?
Well,
someone wants to get involved in commodities trading, instead of going out and buying one of these packages, what would you do?
Well, it's not that these packages aren't useful as tools once in a while, but truth be told that these tools can be found in other venues. In most of the software and charting packages that are around, these tools, while not mechanized into a system, are there and available for traders. So what you need to do is you need to realize that it's just quite as simple. For example, my day. My day starts at 6 in the morning. I have 3 places where I can trade from. Let's say I'm lucky enough to be able to trade from home if I'm not coming in to visit you or something else. And
I like having you. That's
fine. And I like seeing you too, Greg. It's terrific. So I'll be trading in another place today. I'll be trading in my office in the city. But let's say, so I'll turn my screens on at about 7 after reading the news and so forth, and they will stay on pretty much without a break, except for a sandwich at the desk at lunch at about 4, at which point, at some point I will turn them at least down, and I'll have to check them 4 or 5 times during the evening, and also place orders overnight. So it's pretty much a 24-hour kind of thing that you have to be involved in.
I mean, it sounds very casino-like. If you can go 24 hours, it's just like in Vegas when tables are open all day, all night.
Well, what's interesting about that...
Is that something that people are going to try and do and say, listen, I can come home and trade, I can trade all the time, I can trade at work? It sounds like it's the old day trading from the late 1990s.
Well, exactly. In fact, that's the beauty of the Forex system. That's why the Forex systems are getting so much play and so much action, is because the currency markets are open pretty much 24 hours a day. You can trade the European markets early. You can trade the Far East markets, overnight if you have insomnia or something. So that's the beauty of these systems. They say you can keep your regular job and trade, when you have spare time.
And your advice is just be sensible about it?
Yeah, well, it's not just be sensible about it. It is really a career, and it's something that you have to work up to. You should expect,
don't be a dilettante. It's not a hobby. It's a lifestyle. It's a life. It's a career.
It's definitely a career, and it's something you should expect to actually not be a successful person at it, at least for the first year or 2 that you try it. Not that you can't do it, because many people have done it. I've done it, and I don't have any special talents. A lot of people have done it, and they don't have particular special talents, but they did all work hard, and it's not always as simple as these mechanical systems would have you believe.
Good stuff. Dan Dicker, columnist for RealMoney. I'm Greg Greenberg at TheStreet.com TV. Please come back. Thanks a lot, Dan.
Thanks, Greg.